Hey guys, how is everyone? I hope everyone had a good Saturday. I had a great Saturday. I worked, but I still connected with a lot of people and I spread positivity, and I have definitely shown gratitude today. So that makes everything worthwhile. I wanted to get on here and do another message today because I saw or heard a message from someone that I admire very much, and they have spoken about this several times, and I wanted to also speak about it, but better yet, break it down into examples, give a detailed meaning just to help other people. Definitely, I am the student and the teacher because I am learning, and as I learn, I want to sprinkle that shit everywhere so that we can all be on the same page with the growth and the maturity, and help each other to progress in healthy ways. So I listened to someone that talks about not casting pearls before swine in a lot of their messages recently, and it definitely resonates with my life because it's a fine line. I like to, as I've mentioned, I have danced with the devil many times, so I will expose my energy to enemies that think they might be hidden or pulling one over on me, to give them a second chance to get their life right, to show them that I see the good in them, and hopefully to be a positive example to them and show them love no matter what they might be going through, to let them know that I do see their potential. I feel that that's part of my purpose on this planet in this lifetime, is to show people their potential and teach them how to reach for it. And the fine line is that you can only go so far down that road. You can only give them so much before you have to cut that off. If they aren't willing to do anything constructive with the opportunity that you're giving them, with the um, positivity, with your light that you're shining on them, that you are letting them have a taste of, so to speak, not not literally, but figuratively. Just exposing them to your light and your positivity, despite all the things that you've been through. You are letting them know that they are worth it, and it's not too late. They can always turn things around. They can always turn to God. They can always put work into themselves and build off of that positivity that I see in them, the person that they can be, how beautiful that is, how much more beautiful that it can be if they water that and feed that instead of the negativity and the bad intentions, or whatever motive that they set out with, that they can see that I am not the person that they were told that I was. They are not the person that um, they need to commit heinous acts toward, that they can, follow my lead. They can be a leader of their own discernment and decide to flip the script. So anyway, I decide to do that. It does cost me some of my precious energy, but I am a light worker. I work in the light. I encourage others. I try to help them to heal. I want to lead them onto their path. That's just who I am. That's who I always have been. A lot of times in the past, it was to my detriment because I would pour into their cups without pouring into my own, or I would overpour. um, if there was overflow, I would give it away. Now I am here to give to others with what God gives to me always, but sharpening that discernment and know who deserves it, to know when enough is enough. That has been a journey. That has been a lesson for me to learn. And I have closed the karmic cycle on overdoing it, on people pleasing, on not knowing when to say when. So I want to help you guys to do that because I want you to be a light for others. I want you to shine your light for yourself and for others. So, in order to be motivational and to expose others to your light, even if they have negative intentions, don't absorb their negative energy. You have to learn how to protect yourself, how to protect your energy, when to pull back, how not to absorb. Empaths will absorb a lot if they have not practiced how to have good boundaries, strict, healthy boundaries, how to not throw yourself under the bus or in front of a train for others, how to um, stay at a healthy distance for yourself, and to not to recognize what is yours and what is not yours, so that you don't take that with you, that you don't own that as your own energy, your own feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. You know how to separate the two and not take on anything that is not yours. So you have to definitely draw that line and hold strict boundaries. So don't cast pearls before swine. It comes from Matthew chapter 7, verse 6. Um, in other words, don't waste good things on people who don't appreciate them. Um, a lot of times you're gonna waste time. Sometimes you're gonna make it worse because you are giving too much of yourself. You're overdoing it. They're not listening. They're not willing to change. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. In that verse in the Bible, it was talking about Jesus warning his disciples to preach only before receptive audiences. So I have this channel on this platform, and I have gathered the strength and courage, and I've always been very confident in myself, whether I put it out there or not. I've been told many times by people that have observed me and interacted with me that I am a very confident person and that they can feel this come off of me. I know that that's straight from God because it definitely wasn't instilled upon me from my family. And it's just a gift. It's a gift that I've been given from God, because if I had stayed meek and shy and um, feeble, naive, or gullible, I wouldn't be able to be confident. And so God has given that to me so that I can um, walk as if He has sent me into the room. That is definitely from Him. He has sent me here. He has placed me right where He wants me in order to be a leader, to lead by example. And that has taken a while. I'm not perfect. No one is. We all have a past. So I had to learn a lot of lessons. I had to make a lot of wrong choices. I had to go down the wrong road. I've had to learn a lot from my mistakes to be the person that can lead by example. But I feel like I'm in a position now where I'm definitely confident in leading by example, not only, at work, but in life skills, because I have come a very, very, very long way. I've put a lot of work into myself, and I've healed so much that none of that has been in vain. It will be put to good use. I will always help others with the lessons that I've learned, to help them gather strength from me, to not do what I did and then save themselves some time and a lot of heartache, a lot of energy, if they will, choose to listen up front and not have to. Some people have to do it themselves. They have to. I've heard from lots of people that they need to make that mistake themselves to learn. But not everybody is like that. Some people can listen to stories. Some people can learn from others and not make those mistakes without having to go down that road themselves. So that's what I'm trying to do. Um, so on this platform, even though I have found my way and gotten more comfortable in front of the camera and delivering messages, I used to just read straight from my notes when I started this. Now I feel like I'm flowing more freely. Things come to mind more easily. I don't know if I'll ever be completely comfortable on camera. I wish that I saw exactly what other people see in me. I'm glad that I get compliments and people tell me great things about me daily, strangers. It's overwhelming at times. It is very flattering, but I often still struggle with seeing myself the way that other people see me. Now, I know that I'm beautiful inside and out, but I'm just beside myself with the things that they vocalize to me because I've been in isolation for so long that it's just shocking. It's shocking. So I so appreciate it and I'm so grateful. But I'm just still working on those things. I'm still working on being comfortable with appearance and the way I present myself and definitely the seeing myself on camera. So I don't want to look at myself. I don't want to focus too much on making myself up. I'm not trying to be in my ego with it. So it's just progress that I'm trying to make there. But anyway, I want to tell others, use this platform for good and to help others. Now, there's a lot of trolls on here that don't, that are just on here to find things to use against me, to make fun of me, to, have something to gossip about, fuel for their smear campaign, whatever it may be. But I know that there's also people on here that I can help. They've reached out to me, several of them. So I appreciate that support. I appreciate that feedback, the receptiveness. Like, I appreciate that so much. I love that people tell me that I'm helping them or that they've been through similar things or that they've gathered strength from me. That is a huge reason why I do this. Of course, don't be afraid to be a whistleblower because that is another huge part of this channel because I had to expose things. I had to get the truth out. I would not have made any progress at all if I hadn't used my voice and opened my throat chakra to tell about all the things that I've been through and all the things that I've seen and all of the injustices that have happened to me because I don't want this to happen to anybody else. And if somebody doesn't speak out, then it will just continue and the darkness will continue to gather strength from how their strategies have worked and they won't stop because they have definitely benefited from it and they would continue to benefit from it. And it stops with me. It will stop with other people too. We just have to um, use what's happened to me, what's happened to other people. I know I'm not the only one by far. All of the situations are not exactly the same, but the oppression, the stalking, the lies, the smear campaigns, the defamation, all of that is happening to a lot of people at the same time. I read the comments online, not on my channel because I don't allow them, but other channels. I see the struggles that people are going through and the similarities. And I know that I am not the only one going through this. And I am here to help others. I'm here to stop all of that madness because it's time. It's time for that to stop. That's not what we're here to do. It's counterproductive and it's of the devil, pure and simple. So, no more. I will not stop. I will not give up. I'm going to help others to speak their truth and to call things out as it happens to them so that we can all stand together and have this front that we're not weak and we're not going to bend to your will. No one controls us but ourselves and God. So they can wear themselves out trying, but they're not going to get what they want anymore. We're on missions. So God has placed us right where we should be to stop these things from happening. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So anyway, back to my message. giving out these messages online and trying to help others, I know that there is a percentage, even if it's small now, it won't always be, because I'm growing my channel. I'm going to reach others. It's going to get out there. So the percentage will grow in the amount of people that are here for the right reasons, and not to troll and not to um, just watch, but actually put these things into action for themselves, and to learn and to be encouraged, and then in turn do that for others to perpetuate it, and help grow the love, and help grow the support, and help grow um, the positivity. That's what I want. I want all of that to just multiply, multiply, multiply. So everyone knows pretty much that I love Dr. Jordan Peterson. So he came up a lot in my search when I was doing research on the Don't Cast Pearls Before Swine. Um, he says in his lectures, particularly one that I just listened to that inspired me as well. If you're trying to help and it doesn't work, then stop helping. You're wasting your time. How do you help someone that is lost? Only if they were willing to not be lost. Both people have to want that change to happen. Both people have to be open to it. And that's true in any kind of mentor, student, therapist, patient, any kind of coach, um, coaching situation, anything like that, leading by example, that has to be in place before anything is going to be accomplished. Both people have to be willing to change. We're all children of God, but some of us are lost and some of us are found. And I hope that we can all find our way to God. We can all find our way to shining our light for others. And it takes participation, it takes acceptance, it takes surrendering, it takes, just that drive, that willingness to learn and to be found. So some people are so lost that they can't be found. You have to get your life together, be willing to do that hard work in order to manifest a reality of an alternate mode of being. And I thought that was just an excellent way to put it. Manifestation is huge. I was trying to tell someone at work today who's very negative about our current situation at the place of employment that we're at, and particularly a coworker that we pick up slack for, and they more than anyone else, because they share some of the same duties with this person, and they have this kind of dynamic where um, one is not so nice to the other, but then we try to dance around it, and find this middle ground to where it's not hostile and still be a team. And it's very hard, especially when the other coworker, the one that is struggling with getting along with this negative coworker. And so I tried to encourage her today about manifesting something new for herself, a new mindset, to not think so negatively about it, to not focus so much on all of the things that she's having to pick up slack for, to put herself in a positive place and to build off of that and manifest a new reality for herself at work, to embrace the change, because that's the only thing that is constant. She hates change. She said that she can't manifest anything new, and that she basically thought that was a load of crap. And I gently reminded her, and in a very cheerful way, that there's no way that I would have ever come up out of what I've been through if I didn't put what I was telling her into action, and it worked. That God has given me everything that I needed to transmute that negativity and to turn it into something positive, to turn that pain into power, to step up out of all of the pits that I've been thrown into, all of the swords that have been put into my back. That I have done that with God's help, and with changing my perception about everything that's happened to me, and transmute everything and be an alchemist and turn it into something other than what I was served on that platter. I never would have been able to do it. And so I know that it's possible. She just has to embrace that. She has to be open to that. She has to be able to put one foot in front of the other and slowly make those things habits in her life. And it will happen. It will change her mindset. It will change the trajectory. She just has to be open to not being lost in that sauce of negativity and just complaining nonstop, because that's not going to do anything. That's going to keep her stuck. It's going to keep her depressed. She's not going to enjoy her job at all. And we're there a lot. So we're there almost as much as we are our home. And you can't stay stuck there. You're just going to be a miserable person. And in turn, you're going to make other people miserable. It's going to affect your health, mentally, spiritually, physically. It's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect everything. It's just going to trickle down. And in the end, you'll have a shorter lifespan because of it. So you want to be there for your loved ones. You want to have a good quality of life. You cannot stay stuck in those ruts where you think that you can't change anything, because you can. Change is beautiful if you let it be. It's just you have to put the work in, and it's so hard, but it's worth it. And that's what I want everyone to see. But also, you can't you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Another southern phrase is you can't stop beating a dead horse. If the horse won't go and drink the water, it's going to die. Stop beating the dead horse. It's not going to come back to life. So you have to know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Shout out Kenny Rogers. Can't believe I just said that. But anyway, so, in his lecture, he talks about um, the analogy of a lifeguard. And, if you're trying to swim and save someone that's drowning and they have their hands around your neck, um, it's you drown or both of us drown. And the answer is they drown. And that's um, not cruelty, it's wisdom, he says. So you have to save yourself first and foremost. You have to walk with God and have faith and strength in that. You can try to spread positivity and wisdom and encouragement and shine your light for others, but you can't give too much of yourself, and you can't give for too long. It's very important when to know when, and I've learned that the hard way, and I want you guys to put a limit on that. I want you all to love and raise the vibrations, but not to your own detriment. And a lot of times, say when you have a family member or a loved one that's on drug addiction. I have seen, customers from when I was in the food service industry that had, they would bring their family members in and eat with them. They would have a meal with them where I worked to feed them, because they were on drugs and they weren't taking care of themselves. So that was something that they could tolerate, even though they didn't want them in their house. They didn't have them in their life all the time because they didn't trust those people. They still wanted them to eat and have nourishment, so that to give them a little more time to make the right decisions. But if they started enabling them, and this applies to narcissism too, parents of narcissists, if you give too much, you're loving them to death, and in turn you're also killing yourself, because it's just a never ending cycle. You're stuck in that cycle. You're not growing, you're not thriving. Neither is that other person. You are literally loving them to death when you keep giving them money that they could go buy drugs with, that you keep boosting their ego so that they can think that they're a god, and they go out and abuse other people because they don't know how to be their true, genuine, authentic self. They have to feed off the energy of others because they don't know how to be themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. So that's how they live their life, is by having that narcissistic supply. And living off of others in order to boost their ego and make them feel a sense of purpose. So you have to know when to stop giving, stop enabling, stop sharing your energy. It's good up to a certain extent. It's good until it's not. So don't cast your pearls before swine. That's my message today. I definitely want to be the example for others. And I've said that I am the trap many times, and that has been mocked, but God shall not be mocked. He set the trap and He put me in position to be the bait. And I am very much carrying out that position. I have, I think, done an excellent job. Not perfect. I have slipped and fallen, but I, of course, corrected and I got right back on that horse. A lot of horse analogies today. I don't know where that's coming from. But anyway, I have gotten right back in line where I need to be. And I did not abort the mission. And the whole point is to not give up, because the only way the enemy wins is if you give up. And I would never do that. So I want to be the example for the change that needs to happen. I want you guys to do that too. Do not be scared to be the whistleblower. If God has put you in position, He will have your back. He will give you everything that you need. For me, when it comes to CPS, when it comes to perjury in court being allowed, when it comes to police not helping, corrupt justice systems, judges not helping, smear campaigns being credible without proof or with admissible fabricated proof by CPS and DCS and numerous caseworkers, things not being fact checks, things being just unchecked, no balance, no credibility to things that are being thrown at people, and in turn helping others to ruin lives for their own gain, for their own just selfless, it's just, it's so cruel for their cruel gain, whether it be money, whether it be power, whether it just be vengeance because of envy and jealousy. It needs to stop. And I am here to speak up and stand up. I'm not running away. I don't want you guys to either. You never know how many others are going through the same thing that you're going through. So free yourself first and foremost. Offer others a hand. If they don't take it, then you have to cut your loss and move on. Others will gather strength from you, follow suit, and free themselves. So don't think that no one's going to listen, that you're not helping anyone, because you are. You may not know it. They may never tell you, and that's okay. But oftentimes, a lot of people will tell you, and you will know, and that will encourage you to keep going and to keep loving and educating. You just have to have that discernment to know who to help and how long to help them. We want to bring peace, joy, and freedom from oppression, love for each other, to raise the vibes. If God puts you in the position, you are anointed. That is your anointing. A lot of people, many are called, few are chosen. He will always prepare you for what your whole life. He's going to prepare you for that position. And if you answer the call and He chooses you, you are anointed. It doesn't mean that you're a preacher. It does, a lot of times when I was younger, you would hear people talk about, if you were called upon, if you felt anointed, you answered the call, then you were a preacher. And that comes from being in the Bible Belt too, because it's just, Christianity is all over the place here. So when you talk about being called or chosen or anointed around here, it often means, clergy, that you are a minister, that you are a rabbi, you are a leader in a religious organization. But that is not true. That is not true. The ones that are called and anointed by God are not always in church. Um, in fact, I think some of those are wearing masks, those people that say those things. They are false leaders. They are um, gaining for their own selfish purposes and not just for the love of humanity. And I think that a lot of people that are anointed are like earth angels walking amongst us in plain sight. You would never know that God has chosen these people. You will never know until you do them wrong and you come against them, and then you fall in your own pit. You fall in the pit that you created for them. You fall in the sword that you tried to stick in someone else's back because you had no idea of the anointing that that person had. God hid them right in plain sight, right where He wanted them, right where you would walk into that trap. And He will warn you and He will give you second chances. Um, those people that are anointed, called, chosen, they will give you second chances, expose you to their light, show you your potential, and try to help you to reach for it, tell you to turn around and follow God, that it is never too late. Um, he will give you those chances, but if you keep going down that road and you keep the mentality of negative intentions and win at all costs, then yes, you will. You've taken the bait. You've fallen in the trap. You have to have your karma then, and that in turn show other people what not to do, the power of God, and what um, vengeance that He will have if you choose to go against Him and His anointed. Plain and simple, point blank, period. I don't know any other way to say it. If you come against God, if you come against His soldiers, if you come against the God's plan that He has set into motion, He has seen everything that you've done. He has heard everything that you've said. Um, he's all knowing. He has missed nothing. As the person that inspired this message always says, that CCTV is always on. CC spiritual TV is always on, that God misses nothing. So, He knows what's in their heart and He knows what their intentions are, and His will be done. There's nothing that you can stop from happening if He has set that into motion and you have gone against it time and time again. You will serve the consequences. So when I say that I'm trap or bait, that's what God said. That's what God says. That's not me. Everything is because of God. I am just willing to let Him use me, and I put on His armor every day. And that's what happens when you go against um, His anointed that are often hidden in plain sight. So you have to be careful who you go up against, because God has placed lots of people out here that are not clergy to do His work and to carry out His missions. So be careful who you do things to. It's just best to love thy neighbor and to work on yourself and be a good person and to let God use you too, and be positive and grateful. That's the best way. Then you won't have to worry about any of that stuff at all. That's all I wanted to say. I talked a little bit long. I'm so sorry about that. But I wanted to say some of this yesterday. And I'm glad I didn't, because I gathered more research and it was a better message because of the wait. But I did free up some space on my phone so I could talk a little bit more today and not be cut off. But I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the messages. I appreciate any support. I appreciate you subscribing, sharing, liking, anything. I appreciate you all. I appreciate every single little thing. Um, God loves you. Never forget that. He's always there for you. It is never too late, and you're never, ever alone. I'll talk to you later. Bye.